Yo, what up YouTube, Jedi Mike here with some more Age of Empires 4 action. I have a build order for you today. It's 8 Mangudai in 8 minutes, and you actually get some economy upgrades, and I think it sets you up for a nice game as long as you don't get Dark Age Rush, and as long as you're not going against archers. If you're playing against an archer civ, something like the English, this is not the build for you. I'll have more builds in the future, so make sure you subscribe and like the video if you find it helpful, so that other people can find it, and make sure you comment if you see things that I'm doing incorrectly or ways to optimize my play so we can all learn together. And let's get into the video. So first, I like to select my town center. For this example, I just did the closest spawn, did some trees, right? Wood's most important when you're placing your town center, so I just go that. I'm gonna send my next task is to send a villager to make my uvu, and then the rest of my villagers onto sheep. Grab the couple of sheep that are in my base, and then bring them back. So I do this build with, I think, 1, 2, 3, 6 sheep. And obviously I could have run around the map and gotten all the sheep, but I wanted to be realistic. So this is, I feel like most people can get 6 sheep in a game, right, to start. Uvu's complete, 7 on food. I'm going to switch over to wood. Oh, it's a little jerky, so I'm going to take off that. So, you'd normally be scouting out with your con right now. And I'm going to go up to 3 on wood. And obviously check in, scouting around. Let's click on the town center here. So typically once you get past like the first couple minutes of the game, you really don't want to be queuing anything. But at the beginning stages of the game, it's okay to queue villagers and such, because it subtracts from your food, from your economy, without actually doing anything until the next unit produces. So if you want to build something else, those resources are already tied up. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 sheep. I think I'm gonna grab one more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I got 3 on wood, and I'm gonna switch over to gold, which is right here. Nope. Okay, I think I just do it with these sheep. So 1, 2. Yeah, 5 sheep is all you need for this build. You can see later in the build, I get a little bit close to having not enough sheep, but I mean, you want to optimize the build, right? So with the Mongols, the way you start is going to be a little bit different every time, so I don't really have to count for that too much. You can see my next villager that came out after 3 on wood, went over here to build a gur with our first 100 wood. If your gold is close to your town center, you can build the barracks if you want to go for early pressure. You can just save that wood for later. You can build an early pasture. You can build a tower somewhere. So again, a lot of flexibility is the name of the game with the Mongol system and the Mongols in general. Still sending the gold, getting our gold economy up, getting ready to age up. And now we had another decision to make once we get another 150 wood. For this 8-minute Mangudai, 8 minutes for 8 Mangudai is kind of what I'm going for. That's what I'm aiming in this version of the build. So, yeah, this next 150, I believe, is going to go to a pasture. Okay, because my gold isn't close to the rest of my base, I went up with the silver tree. I used 5 to go up, and then they'll go back on gold. And then I immediately switch. This villager should have came straight to food, so I catch it late, and I correct it. So we're gonna put on food, and actually I'm gonna have him build a pasture with that next 150 wood. Get that food economy up early, so you don't need a ton of sheep. And that's why I call this a beginner build order, because you can see I don't really have to do much. Like, send the villagers to the right spot. Obviously I'll be scouting. Could be doing some harass, but again, this is catered towards beginners. So again, we're putting our town center on food until we get to 12, and then we're going to stay on wood basically for the rest of the game is how I do it, and then I'll just reallocate from wood to the resources that I need. So, you know, grab 3, make a pasture, and then boom, you're bringing your food economy up. For those who don't know, in general, you can figure 3 villagers to each pasture. Obviously, upgrades make a difference from that. Other creatives have done videos. Just search Mongol sheep guide or Mongol sheep tips, and you'll see the video. So this is a villager who's waiting to build the archery range. So we went up to the age right around 5 minutes, and then we start building our archery range. Got our 5 on gold after they finished the silver tree. 3 on wood. We got 12 on food. So now we just go straight to wood. And our next goal with our wood is to create 4 pastures while still maintaining a Mangudai production. So archery range is up. See how long it takes me to build a Mangudai, because I think I was distracted right now. It takes me a while. Okay, there we go. That villager that built the archery range needs to go back to wood so we can get our pastures up. So really, we can get this build out even faster, because that was a long time to wait for that Mangudai. Okay, sheep pops out. Villagers immediately go to it. And at 6:23, we have our first 2 Mangudai popping out. Mangudai, I find, are great against everything except for archers. So you can literally just circle their base, you know, make sure that they're not focusing, make sure they're building units, make sure they're building towers, until you see archers, and then I usually back off and switch into my own archers, or you know, maybe building a stable. So you can see, like I said, the town center just goes to wood. I think we are starting to get our upgrades. Yeah, so even with this build, you can squeeze out some upgrades. I already have forestry, and I'm working on wheelbarrow. And what I'll typically do is I just kind of rotate, you know, town center, military buildings, economy buildings, and then once I get, you know, further along, I'll have a blacksmith, and I just keep rotating, and if something, and make sure one thing's building in each one. So again, another 150 wood. Should be building a pasture. I don't know what I was doing. There it is. And we have 6 Mangudai at 7:30. And remember, we started building that late. Still pumping out to wood. Technically 12 on sheep. We have 1 building this pasture. And once he's done with that pasture, you could probably go straight into another one. And look, so just town center, military buildings, economy, upgrades. Town center. Okay, not sure. Oh, I'm waiting for some stone here to make sure I can keep building 2. And actually, that's the end of the build. So here's 8 minutes. That's 8 Mangudai. And we're ready to do some damage. We have, we've been upgrading this whole time. Maybe not now. I say that. But we do have 2 of our economy upgrades. I think I said this is done because I stopped at 8 minutes. So, you know, we got enough. We can start getting these. Our 4th pasture is coming up to support these 12 villagers. Remember, I think we only had like 5 sheep to begin with. And then now you see blacksmith. So town center, archery range, or town center, military, economy, technology. Town center, archery, economy, technology. Just make sure all those are building constantly. And that's the end of the build. That's the end of the 8-minute 8 Mangudai strat. So you can see that if, you know, no one bothers you and you get your 5 sheep, boom, 8 Mangudai at 8 minutes. Do some early harass.